welcome to Yoga with Tina. Thanks for joining. We're going to start in a seated posture today. So just find an easy seat, cross-legged. If you have props, if you have a block strap, I always encourage you to bring them to your practice. You don't need them now. I'll always cue so that you don't need to have props, but if you like to have them, they just enhance your experience. So find those sit bones, the bones in our hips that we sit upon, connected with the earth. And once you feel those hip bones connected, then you can start to soften, releasing the legs towards the earth and lengthening the spine. That's what we call root to rise. So it helps to get our brain prepared for yoga so we can disconnect from the outside and draw ourselves a little bit more inside. So start softening the legs, start lengthening the spine, finding our alignment. So when I say finding your alignment, I always mean the top of the head released towards the sky, and then drawing the ears over shoulders, shoulders over hips. And start sinking in. I can already hear my cat's a little crazy this morning. The dog's outside. Who knows what's going to happen today? I know that is enjoyable for a few of you. Start drawing the chin a little bit closer towards the chest to open up the very top of the spine. Maybe draw your belly button in towards your backbone, just a tiny bit. Soften those shoulders, and then start to release the jaw. So bring separation between the top and bottom teeth, and then really see if you can release the tongue from the top of the mouth. And as you're making those steps, kind of notice and be mindful about how that releases the stress from your face. So I do this even if I need to get like a 15-minute power nap. I will release the jaw, separate the teeth, and then release the tongue from the mouth, and it relaxes my whole body. So just a little trick. It feels weird at first, but give it a try. And then once you have the jaw released, start softening the skin of the face. Invite the eyes to close or be still. And allow the scan from the top of the body all the way to the bottoms of the feet. And you're just scanning, going like side to side, all the way down to the bottoms of your feet. Just noticing where you might be holding on to tension, noticing where the body feels really good today. And as you notice, start to soften. Continue to keep the alignment, but release anything that's not serving you this morning. Notice where you may have slept a little funny on your neck or in your lower back, and just start releasing. Notice where your breath is this morning. So notice if you are already breathing deeply into the stomach, or perhaps you're just still breathing into the chest space. We'll get you into that breath into the stomach in just a moment. And then maybe draw in just a moment of gratitude. Gratitude for showing up for yourself today. Gratitude for what is. Gratitude for the ability to disconnect from the chaos. And hopefully maybe a little gratitude for the rest that you're offered this week. And then starting to bring intentional breath into the body. Always deep breath in through the nose, long, slow exhales either through the mouth or through the nose. Whatever feels good. Take your time figuring it out. So drawing that breath in through the nose, and long, slow exhales to release. With each exhale, soften those shoulders, soften the jaw. And then taking 5 3-part breaths. So deep breath in through the nose, fill the stomach, expand the ribs, sip into the chest, holding at the top. Long, slow exhale to release, draining the breath from the chest, the ribs, and then draw the belly button in towards the backbone, holding at the bottom. So really slowing the breath down. So you're really expanding nice and slow, little tiny bits by tiny bits, all the way to the top, holding at the top, and then draining the breath slowly, releasing, and holding at the bottom. So 3 more times. Notice when you expand how far the ribs expand away from each other. And then slowly releasing, little by little, drawing the belly button in towards the backbone, holding at the bottom. One last time, make this the slowest inhale. Holding for as long as your body will allow. And then long, slow exhale, making sure that that jaw is soft and released. Holding at the bottom. And then only coming back to that neutral breath when your body says that it must. Keeping the eyes closed for just a few more moments or keeping them still. Draw the chin towards the chest. Opening up the very top of the spine. And at any time when we're warming up, really just notice if you hold your tension and stress in the neck, just make micro movements to release some of those areas. So I tend to hold a lot of my stress in the neck and the shoulder blade. So when I draw the chin to the chest, it always feels really good. So keeping the alignment, keeping the shoulders over the hips, and drawing the core a little bit tighter. And then you can take the chin up towards each shoulder. And then back to neutral. Release the chin to back to your neutral space. Right ear towards right shoulder. Soften the shoulders down. Maybe even bring fingertips to the earth. And then to deepen the stretch, you can take the back of the left hand to the small of the back. And start to plant kind of not really, try and just draw that right hand flat against the mat. And notice how that stretches and opens. And then releasing the left hand, really planting, moving that right hand out, bending the right elbow, stretching the right arm up and over, opening the side body. To deepen the stretch, kind of reverse the position of the hands, bend the elbow, draw the back of the hand towards the small of the back. And this just opens the chest and heart space a little bit more. Eyes can be towards the sky or down towards the earth. Release the arm back up, stretching one last time, and then releasing to neutral, switching sides. So left ear to left shoulder, releasing the fingertips towards the earth, back of the right hand to the small of the back. Keeping the shoulders stacked over the hips. And then planting the left hand, bending the left elbow, reaching the right arm up and over. Switching directions, bending the elbow, bringing the back of the hand to the small of the back, and then really rotating that right shoulder open. On the next exhale, slowly release back to neutral. Opening the arms up wide. Inhale, arching the back. Open that chest space. Exhale, round. So bringing the chin towards the chest. Tilting the pelvis. Rounding the arms. So a seated cat-cow. Inhale, open. Exhale, round. Inhale, open. Really draw those shoulder blades together. Exhale, round. So opening the shoulder blades. One last time. Inhale, open. Exhale, round. And release back to neutral. Drawing the knees underneath. If the eyes are not open already, start to slowly open. Wiggling the fingers and toes. And then coming into your tabletop. So tabletop is shoulders over wrists, hips over knees, nice long spine, eyes towards the earth. Maybe a micro bend in the elbow if you tend to hyperextend. Hyperextending is when you press the fingertips into the mat, the insides of the elbows face towards the front of the mat. So give your elbows a little break with the micro bend. Nice long spine. Press the earth away from the body. And then releasing the arms out in front, keeping the hips stacked over the knees. Slowly start to sink the underarms towards the earth into bleeding heart or puppy pose. Forehead releases towards the mat. Sometimes the forehead reaches the mat, sometimes it does not. Really press the fingertips into the earth. And then slowly release the elbows towards the mat, stretching the legs behind. Releasing the elbows slightly. And then coming back down. So one hand on top of the other, releasing, bringing the knees into a bend, and then slow windshield wipering back and forth. And release. So anytime we windshield wipe, we release any pressure from that lower spine. Bringing the hands right next to the chest, elbows tucked in really tight, fingertips pressed into the earth. Slowly peel the body away from the earth. So coming through cobra, releasing the hips towards the heels into a modified child's pose. So if you prefer having the knees released to the long edge of the mat, just make sure to adjust. As we come through, we'll be coming through tabletop and then releasing into cobra. So bending the elbows, releasing the shoulders away from the ears. Exhale into child's pose. So really taking your time with the transition. Fingertips are pressed into the earth, keeping the jaw soft. Inhale, coming forward into cobra. Slight bend in the elbows. And then exhale one last time into child's pose. Coming back into tabletop. So setting up, finding your alignment first. So the alignment here is shoulders over wrists, hips over knees. And then releasing the left leg behind. So toes are connected for now. And then anytime you move that leg, you're going to lose a little bit of alignment with the hips. So make sure the hips are always square with the front of the mat. And then release right arm parallel with the floor. Right thumb is pointed up. The whole arm is energized. Eyes are towards the earth. And then engaging the core, lifting the left leg. So coming into a balance. This is sunbird. Keep that jaw soft so that you will breathe. We hold the pose, never the breath. Micro bend in the left elbow. Really energize the leg and the arm away from each other. One more deep breath here. Release the right arm down. Keep the left leg lifted and then release it up and over, arching it. So left toes are going to be connected on the right side of the body. Readjust those hips and then eyes towards the toes. So you're feeling an opening of the whole left side of the body. And then inhale, lifting the toes, keeping them on the right side of the body. Exhale, lower, inhale, lift. Core stays engaged. Lifting and lowering. And then one last time, inhale, lift, and arch all the way over to the other side, planting the left foot on the left side of the body, finding all four corners of the left foot. So I'm going to turn on my mat, but you don't need to turn on yours. So we're still stacking the right hip over the right knee, and then extending the left leg long. All four corners of the left foot are connected. Slowly walk the hands up the body. Sending the left hands down, the left hand down the left side. Inhale, reaching the right arm up and over. Coming into gate pose. Continue that breath. And then on the exhale, slow transition. Slowly bringing the right fingertips towards the earth, sweeping the left arm up and over. Maybe the right hand plants, maybe just the fingertips. Nice long line of energy from the left fingertips all the way to the edge of the left foot. And then slowly start to release the left arm down, sweeping the left foot up and over, bringing the left foot forward into a low runner's lunge. So low runner's lunge, you've got the left knee right over the left knee over left ankle, and far enough ahead that as you lean into it, the knee is not going beyond the left ankle, but you're feeling a great stretch in the right quad. So holding right here for just a moment, breathing into that space. And then exhale, sinking the hips back, lifting the left toes up. So if you're an active runner, this probably feels a little bit tight. So only go as far as it feels good. So you want a good stretch. You don't want to injure. Yoga doesn't feel bad. Yoga can feel challenging. Breathing into the space and then coming back into that left knee. So left knee is bent, stretching the right quad. So if these poses are new to you, take your time with them. So anytime you feel the engagement of the muscles, you are detoxing and releasing. You are still gaining your flexibility. So planting the right hand on the instep of the left foot and turn the right toes under, straightening the right leg. You can always invite that right knee to stay low. On the next inhale, release the left arm up and over, pressing the earth away so shoulders are released, jaw is soft. Core stays engaged. To deepen this pose, you can turn the hand away and draw the back of the hand to the small of the back. One more deep breath in through the nose. On the exhale, release the arm and release the left hand on the outside of the left foot, stepping back into plank pose. So you can invite a low plank here or adjust, making sure the wrists are right underneath the elbows. Well, they're under the elbows, under the shoulders. Pressing the fingertips into the mat, and then feel as you release, so kind of release onto the toes and then press into the heels. Notice how that changes the stretch. One more deep breath. And either release to the knees to lower or slowly lower down, bending the elbows, stopping halfway. Inhale, coming into cobra. So release the knees down. Elbows are bending close to the body. Shoulders released. Exhale, child's pose. Keeping the arms connected. Release the forehead towards the earth. Two more deep breaths. On the next exhale, slowly coming through and setting up for tabletop. So this time releasing the right toes behind, squaring off the hips, and then release left arm parallel with the floor. Thumb pointed up, energize the fingertips, energize the arms, and then inhale, lifting the right leg up. Keep the core engaged, micro bend in the right elbow. Releasing the left arm down, and then inhale, lifting the right leg just a little bit more, sweeping it up and over, so right toes connected on the left side of the body. Turning the eyes towards the toes, actively pressing the mat away, keep the core engaged. Inhale, lift the toes and lower. Follow your breath, 5 pulses. On the 5th, hold, and then sweep up and over, bringing the right leg all the way to the right hand side, coming into gate pose. Walking the hands up, taking a moment to stabilize, and then send the right fingertips down the right leg, sweeping the left arm up and over. On the next exhale, transition to the other side, release the left fingertips towards the earth, reach the right arm up and over. next exhale, coming back through, releasing, and then bringing the right foot forward. So right knee over right ankle. And again, step that right foot forward enough so when you bend into it, you're getting the quad stretch on the left side. On the next exhale, release the hips back, tipping the right toes up. Keeping the hips square, keeping the core engaged. Exhale, bending into the right knee. And then planting the left hand on the instep of the right foot. Turning the left toes under and straightening the left leg. Inhale, sweep the right arm up and over. To deepen the stretch, turn this right hand away, bending the elbow, bring the back of the hand to the small of the back. Release that right shoulder. On the next exhale, release the right arm back up and towards the mat. Stepping back into high plank, invite the low plank. Find your alignment. On the next exhale, bend the elbows. Stop halfway. Inhale, sweeping up into up dog. So this time the knees are released, eyes towards the front of the mat. Only the palms and the tops of the hands are touching the mat. On the next exhale, turn the toes under and come into downward dog. So downward dog has a lot to cue. So for those familiar, just find your alignment and slowly pedal the feet back and forth. For those new to the pose, release the tailbone up towards the sky. You're trying to create an A-frame with the body. So sometimes that means we bend the knees generously so that the hips are released up. And then you can start slowly pedaling the heels down one at a time. Fingertips and palms of the hands pressed into the earth. Head and neck are nice and soft. The underarms are releasing towards the earth. Deep inhales and exhales. On the next exhale, look between the hands and step the left foot forward, staying in high plank, or high runner's lunge. Plant the right hand to the instep of the left foot, coming back into our high runner's twist. So release that left arm up, press the earth away, pressing into the right heel, and then turning the hand, opening the shoulder. Release that left shoulder away from the body. On the next exhale, release the left arm all the way down to the earth. Plant the hands, and then dial the right foot down towards the earth. So you're twisting the foot so that the heel is planted. And this is where we're moving all the way to standing. So you can walk the hands up, or you can power it up by leading with the right arm circling. So really feel the engagement of that left foot, and release all the way into Warrior Two. So Warrior Two, the hips are square with the long edge of the mat. Arms are parallel with the floor. Draw those shoulder blades together, shoulders released, core is engaged. Eyes are towards the left hand. Energize the arms, pointing away from each other. Bending into the left knee over left ankle. On the next exhale, release left forearm to the top of the left thigh, and sweep the right arm up and over. So a whole line of energy from the fingertips of the right hand all the way to the edge of the right foot. Core stays engaged, continue that breath. On the next exhale, releasing back to Warrior Two, and then coming into Peaceful Warrior, sending the right fingertips down the right leg, reaching the left arm up and over. Coming back to Warrior Two, So releasing the left forearm to the top of the left thigh. So not bearing the weight here, still keeping the alignment. And almost, you can even release that left forearm to just check in with your alignment. So you can release the left forearm off of the thigh. Coming back to warrior two, and then peaceful warrior. And then windmill circle, the arms all the way down. Rotate that right foot, step the left back into high plank. Take 3 breaths in high plank. Adjust where you need to for your alignment. On the next exhale, coming forward on the toes, bending the elbows. Stopping halfway. Inhale, sweeping into up dog. Exhale, release the knees to the long edge of the mat. Release the hips. Child's pose for 3 deep breaths. Turn the toes under, lift the hips high. Coming into downward facing dog, pedal it out. Take 5 breaths here in down dog. And then looking between the hands, step the right foot forward into high runner's lunge. So the left toes are connected, the left heel is high. Planting the left hand on the instep of the right foot, releasing the right arm up and over. Deepening the stretch, bend the elbow, bring the back of the hand to the small of the back, releasing that right shoulder away from the body. On the next exhale, release the right arm all the way down. Dial the left foot down towards the earth. So feel that connection. Bring most of the weight into the right foot. And then circle the left arm up, bringing you all the way into warrior two. Shoulder blades together, arms are parallel, core is engaged. Bending into the right knee stacked over the right ankle. Arms are energized. Shoulder blades are drawn together. Soften the shoulders. On the next exhale, release the right forearm to the top of the right thigh, reaching the left arm up and over. Warrior two. Peaceful warrior. Warrior two. Side angle. Warrior two. Peaceful warrior. And then windmill circle, the arms all the way down. Turning, pivoting on that left foot, coming back into high plank. Taking 5 breaths in high plank. Core stays engaged, jaw is soft to breathe. And then release to the knees. Tops of the feet are connected. Walk the arms away from the body, coming into bleeding heart. So keeping the hips stacked over the knees, release the underarms towards the earth. Fingertips are pressing into the mat. Jaw is soft to catch your breath. And then releasing the elbows, bring the palms of the hands together. So you're almost making a triangle with the palms pressed together, so at the wrists all the way to the elbows, it's almost a triangle shape. Turning the toes under, lifting the hips high, walk the toes in just a little bit. So coming into dolphin, hips are released towards the sky, and then soften the heels towards the earth. Head and neck stay nice and soft here. Core is engaged. Palms pressed together to notice how that changes the stretch. And then you can either stay here or release into a forearm plank. Once you establish both of the positions, then you can flow with this. So exhale into dolphin, inhale coming into forearm plank. 3 more breaths, exhaling into dolphin, inhaling forearm plank. One last time, exhaling into dolphin. Inhale, forearm plank. Slowly release the whole body down, one hand on top of the other, forehead release to the top of the hand, bending the knees, slow windshield wipering back and forth. Releasing the left leg, keeping the right leg bent, and then draw the left forearm towards the front of the mat, just to stabilize, reaching back. So drawing the top of the foot in towards the body, keeping the neck and the head nice and soft. So if you bring your hand to the instep of the foot, it's going to be a deeper stretch. Just make sure there's no strain on the knee if you have limitations with your knee. One more deep breath. On the exhale, release, sweeping the arms next to the body. Inhale, peel the shoulders, the legs. Energize the arms. Eyes are towards the mat, whole body is engaged. Deep inhales and exhales. One more deep breath. On the exhale, release. Bending the knees, windshield wipering back and forth, resting the head. And then releasing the right leg down. Planting the right forearm on the mat to stabilize, and then keeping the left knee bent, reaching back for the top of the foot. So again, if you reach on the outside of the foot, it's a little less of a stretch. If you reach to the inside, then your leg has a little bit more mobility. Only go as far as it feels good to you. On the next exhale, slowly release. Draw the hands next to the chest, elbows tucked in. Press the earth away. So up and over, knees drawn together. Release the hips into a modified child's pose. Forehead releases towards the earth. 5 deep breaths here. And then slowly on the 5th exhale, start to draw the arms into the body, release the chin to the chest, slowly roll one vertebrae at a time, coming into hero's pose, slowly with the neck, and then clasping hands behind the back, release the fists towards the earth, open the chest and the heart space. Core stays engaged. Shoulders are released. And then slowly come into a seated posture. Releasing the legs out in front, toes and knees pointed up. So really keep the alignment here. So our alignment with head released towards the earth, towards the sky, and then ears over shoulders, shoulders over hips, core stays nice and engaged. So that helps to stabilize the legs, so keeping the knees and the toes pointed up so that we're not jeopardizing the knees. So feeling the sit bones connected, fingertips, fingertips pressed into the earth, or if the palms will reach, palms pressed into the earth. So all of that alignment and trying to get your palms to connect with the mat. So start to feel the engagement of the legs. And then just release the heels off of the mat. So not jeopardizing or losing the alignment in the torso, just engaging the legs, allowing the heels to release. So it doesn't look like much, but if you're breathing, hopefully you're breathing into the space. It's a good stretch for the quads. The more that you flex the feet, the more you feel the stretch on the back of the legs. One more deep breath. On the exhale, release and soften. Inhale, reaching the arms up and over, forward fold. So hinging at the hips, nice long spine. Once the fingertips connect, then you can start to round the spine. If this is too much, bend the knees. You can bend the knees so much that you can hug underneath them. And then release that chin towards the chest. Deep inhales and exhales. On the next exhale, release the arms and then slowly draw the body back up to a seated position. Come about halfway on your mat and release all the way down. So if you enjoy a little extra core work, engage the core, leaning back away from the sit bones and slowly release. So a modified boat pose, try to keep the feet connected. Try to be mindful to slowly release the torso all the way down. And then release. So feeling the connection of the shoulders. Draw the knees in towards the body. Give yourself a hug. And then planting the left foot, crossing right ankle over the left knee. And just taking a moment here. So we're coming into a reclined pigeon or figure four. Really pressing the left foot into the earth, draw that left heel in towards the hip. And then using the right hand, invite that right leg to release away from the body just a little bit more. So you can stay right here if you feel like that's a deep enough stretch, or you can start to draw the left leg in towards the body, using the leverage of that right elbow to release the right leg this time. And then to deepen further, you can straighten the left leg, flex the left foot. Shoulders are released, jaw is released. Only go as far as it feels good in your body. Feel the connection of the shoulders with the earth. Soften the jaw. And then releasing the left leg back to the earth, open the arms up into a T. Cross that right leg over all the way. Release the knees to the left-hand side, looking out over the right. So the shoulders are completely connected here. To deepen the stretch, you can take your left hand to the top of that right leg and invite a deeper twist. On the next exhale, release everything back to neutral, reset the spine, feel the connection of both shoulders. And then cross the left ankle over the right, drawing that left leg away from the body, so pressing the left knee away from the body, flexing that left foot, and then draw the right leg in. If you want to go deeper, using the leverage of the left elbow. You can straighten that right leg, flex the right foot. Deep inhales and exhales. One more deep breath. On the exhale, release the right leg. Cross the left leg all the way over. Open the arms up into a T. Release the knees to the right hand side, looking out over the left. Both shoulders are connected. Jaw stays soft. On the next exhale, return everything back to neutral. Reset the spine. And then release both legs up towards the sky, flexing the feet. So keeping the feet in neutral for just a moment, and then flexing. Notice how that changes the stretch on the back of the legs. Bring the fingertips underneath the hips, engage the core, soften the shoulders away from the ears. With the core engaged, slowly lower the heels all the way down. And then once the heels start to connect with the earth, release the fingertips from the hips. Allow the feet to naturally open to the long edges of the mat. Soften the shoulders away from the ears. Release the arms next to the body, palms facing up, feeling the connection of the back of the hands with the earth. Maybe draw the chin towards the chest just slightly, preparing for Shavasana. Feel the vibration of the body and the soles of the feet. Soften the tops of the feet. Release each toe one at a time. Soften the hips. Release any tension from the stomach. Soften the spine. Release any tension from the shoulders, from the arms. Feel the backs of the hands connected with the earth. Feel the vibration of the body in the palms of the hands. Release each finger one at a time. Release any tension from the neck. Soften the jaw. Release the cheeks, the ears, the nose. Soften the eyes and the forehead. Taking a deep breath in through the nose. On the exhale, release from the top of the head, quieting the eyes and releasing all the way to the bottoms of the feet. For just a few moments, I'll let you rest, and then you'll hear my voice again. As you start to hear the sound of my voice, start bringing awareness back to your space. Invite small movement into the fingers and toes. Take just a moment to notice your stillness. As you feel ready, slowly start to roll to one side, keeping the eyes closed, taking your time. Maybe draw the knees in towards the chest, giving gratitude for everything the physical body is able to do, everything that it's learning to do. Gratitude for the mind's ability to be still, to heal, to choose, the mind's ability to respond instead of react. As we begin to close this last week of 2020, I encourage you to focus a little bit more on the things that have come into your life in a positive way. So cultivate that positivity, cultivate and notice the blessings. Release the negative things, release the anxiety, release the misunderstandings. I invite you to release maybe a tiny bit of the grief. But make the choice to go into the next year with the positive, just to set the tone a little bit. Releasing control, which is so hard to do. But knowing that really the only control we have is in our response. As hard as that is to accept. Knowing our response to the things, to the chaos, to the grief, to the unexpected is really where most of our control lies. Know that you are beautifully and perfectly made just the way that you are, exactly the way that you are. I will always invite you to show up vulnerably and authentically every time. As you feel ready, slowly come to a seated posture with the fingertips connected to the earth to feel grounded one last time before we enter the day. Finding the alignment, taking your time, releasing the top of the head towards the sky, ears over shoulders, shoulders over hips. Softening the legs towards the earth. Feel the connection of the fingertips. Draw the chin slightly towards the chest, soften the shoulders. On the next inhale, open the arms up wide. Gather this beautiful energy you help create into the palms of your hands. Exhaling to heart center, thumbs to the heart to remind you you are never alone. And we are all connected by no mistake. May you be safe, may you be well, may you be at ease, and may you know peace. Namaste. The light in me honors the light in you.